Hey everyone, I'm Scott Cunningham, aka Scottsy Business. Today we're going to be talking with Tito Titov from JellySwap, which is an atomic swap exchange. It's very, very useful for being able to switch your one form of cryptocurrency into another very, very easily without having to go through, signing up on exchange and all the annoying nuisance parts or the tedious part of it. So we're here with Tito Titov. Do you want to just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hey Scott, it's great to be part of your show, and I want to just to make quick introduction to me and my team. We are in the space since the beginning of 2017. We have we started to trade a little bit, some ETH, some ERC20s. We were part of this ICO boom, and we were watching everything. We were building all the time. We have built a few dApps, a few DEXs based on Ethereum, but then we understand that there is a big problem in the space that no one is solving, and it is not solved still, which is the interoperability between the different blockchains. So yeah, we are building a cross-chain atomic swap protocol, which is aiming to connect the main networks, for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And yeah, we are just a geek building all the time, and this is our ultimate goal now.
Awesome. Awesome. So when did you originally get into crypto and blockchain?
I started in 2017, but I have a background as a software developer, so
Okay.
it was pretty easy for me and our CTO. And yeah, we have like 3 years or more actively building in the space.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I actually got in 2017 as well. And it was easy for me to sort of transition in a little later because I went to school for networking and IT security. So there
Yeah.
was always talk about blockchain and everyone had a little bit of interest in it already. So can you give us an introduction to what JellySwap is? And then also maybe for people who have never heard of a swap exchange, just break that down a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah, basically the idea of these swap exchanges or widget or whatever you call it is just to have one token and swap it for another one. It's not complicated like the normal stock markets and exchanges with order books. You don't have that big order book with many swaps where you have to match with the best order and to make some complicated things and registrations. But it's just for daily use and yeah, for higher amount of exchanges. For example, if you just want to move all your let's say Ethereum for DAI or USDC, you just go type in the amount of ETH that you want to swap, click the button, and you are ready. So basically, this is what swaps protocols or widgets are, and we are doing the same thing. But the most innovative thing is that we are allowing swaps between Bitcoin and TTH, between Bitcoin and some other ERC20 tokens. And it is something that almost no one is doing nowadays on the market. And yeah, everything is based on smart contracts. It's completely non-custodial, secure, transparent. And at the same time, it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I always say like it's very, very useful for people who don't want to KYC and they don't want to sign up for different exchanges. This is probably the easiest way to do that, especially for someone like myself who's on a lot of different social platforms on blockchain, and I'm earning all these different small amounts of cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
and then I can convert all of that into ETH or something like that. So that makes it a lot easier. And there's a lot of people who do that as well. So I think they can really take advantage of something like this. So
Yeah.
how did JellySwap get its name originally?
It was a funny story. We were brainstorming. We was wondering what should be the name of the app. What should be? It should be something easy. It should be something simple. It should be something funny because we know that most of the power users of Ethereum and in the blockchain sphere in general are kind of geeks and tech guys. And in our opinion, they like more like some characters and some animations and that kind of geeky stuffs. And yeah, we decided that Jelly would be funny, would be cool, and we did a lot of. We are trying to developing our brand and our Jelly hero character have different roles, and yeah, I think that is something that is recognizable and something that could could build some community around it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something like jelly can fit into any container or something like that. So that's how it like forms to any cryptocurrency or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's cool.
yeah, this
Um,
is
yeah, so what are some of the next big updates or something that you've got in the works that's going to release soon for JellySwap?
uh, the one of the cool things beside the cross-chain interoperability, that trustlessness, and all the other stuff is that everyone can be a liquidity provider, and basically everyone can take part in the protocol. So
Okay.
we are releasing automated market making bot, which everyone could basically everyone can start on his computer or on the cloud and can start providing liquidity to JellySwap. He can earn some profit, and we have incentivized program for liquidity providers. It is like we are paying 1% monthly on top of the liquidity that they are providing, which is 12.6% annually, which is pretty cool in my opinion, even in the DeFi space where we see a huge interest rate, which is pretty cool. And
Yeah,
we
that's
are
awesome.
developing, we are redesigning our app. We want to follow the latest trends in this new morphism design. And we are adding some mobile applications as well. And basically we are doing a lot of things to support the Jelly app, because it's not just an app, but it's a whole protocol. So we have a statistics website, we have a landing page, we have the application, we have the mobile version, the market making buttons. We are constantly improving it and adding new features.
Awesome, awesome. So, how do you feel that JellySwap fits in with other existing swap exchanges, and then how it differs from them?
Uh, the main differentiation is that we are cross-chain swap, so we are different than Uniswap, we are different than Kyber and all the other aggregators. In that way, that we are adding something very important. We are adding Bitcoin in the game, which is the biggest cryptocurrency in the market, and we want to bridge it to DeFi. So, for example, in one click, you'll be able to exchange your Bitcoin to DAI and lending it in Compound or Aave. Or you can do, if you want to buy Bitcoin, you can sell your USDC and take some Bitcoin. And this is something which no one is providing right now. This is something that I think could be a big market for all the traders and even for the regular users who want to jump into DeFi.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And where would you say you see JellySwap going in, say, a year's time? And then, if you thought this far ahead, like 3 to 5 years.
I would say that J could be one of the big protocols for swaps and exchanges. Let's say something like Uniswap, but updated version, which works with more assets and has more volume and more users as well. And I see Jelly integrated in lots of non-custodial crypto wallets like Exodus, Jax, and such kind of applications, and it will bring even more traction and even more users. And by governance point of view, I can see JellySwap like something like a DAO, where there are groups of different liquidity providers who are participating in the protocol. We can together decide what will be the spread, what will be the protocol fee, and we can split all of this profit between all of us, and to make this one really decentralized community-driven project, which doesn't rely on single entity or company, and which is distributed in means of liquidity provision, in means of everyone can host the interface and everyone can use it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what is the JellySwap approach to privacy? Like, is there any data collected for people who are concerned about that kind of thing, and that's why they might not use regular exchanges as much? Like, what
Yeah.
would you say to those people?
That's a great question, and I would say that cross-chain atomic swaps are adding much more security than the other swaps, because basically we are moving from one blockchain to another. So you can Yeah, exchange Bitcoin for it, go to Tornado Cash or something else, and then go back to Bitcoin, and your Bitcoin will be brand new. And we are not collecting any personal data. Liquidity providers are just connected to the blockchain. They don't have almost any interaction with our servers. We are just hosting the front end, but we open source it, and basically everyone can host it anywhere. About the end users, they are just connecting with Ledger or MetaMask or some other Ethereum-based wallet. So any personal data is collected and everything is completely secure, transparent, and semi-anonymous as much as the blockchain allows.
That's good to hear because so essentially you're saying that if, in some instance where if for somehow JellySwap got hacked, you couldn't lose my information because you don't have it, essentially.
Yeah, essentially, we are not collecting any information, and everything is just happening in some smart contracts. So even if someone hacks, let's say, the front end or some other part of which is centralized, there are very little centralized parts, but let's say the statistics website or the front end, there is only some information there, and there is nothing related to the funds of the users and nothing related to the user's informations in general.
Awesome. And then I guess also for people who are concerned about leaving their funds on an exchange because this does not hold your funds, then that also kind of gets around that issue too. So I find that by using swap exchanges, you kind of avoid a lot of the pitfalls in regular exchanges. Do you want to just share some of the other benefits that maybe I didn't touch on for using a swap exchange versus a regular exchange for people who are still wondering whether or not they should make that switch?
Yeah, I can elaborate a little bit on that. So when you're using a centralized exchange, you're basically depositing your funds to their wallets, which are stored in some cold storage or database or whatever. But basically, they own the private keys. They have full control over your assets. And as we see, the cryptocurrencies market is not that well regulated at that point. So the best thing that we can do is to self-regulate it and to make everything self-custodian. So if you're using Uniswap or JellySwap or some other swap protocol which is based on smart contracts, all the time you have control over your funds, and only for a while you work them in some smart contracts, but it is as secure as giving you the Bitcoin and you give me the ETH. I mean, it's like peer-to-peer. There is no middleware, there is no middleman, there is no central point of failure, and there is no way to have to lose your funds, to lock your account, or to do anything else with your funds. It is much more secure. But of course, the technology is still new. It is cutting edge. So if we have to be completely honest, of course, there is some risk if the smart contracts are hacked or if the blockchain is going down. But if it's down, the centralized exchanges will feel it as well. So again, it's much more secure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you still have some shortfalls, but you solve a lot of the issues that are inherent to exchanges, and you would still have they would still have those shortfalls as well. So it's not like pros and cons. It's like you guys just have a lot more benefits versus a lot of the cons that they have. Yeah. So I think that's really important for people watching who, maybe think regular exchanges are a complete safe way to trade. And while they are very safe, the safest way is if you're storing your own funds on your own wallet and then you're just using smart contracts. While there is a bit like a small fee, I think it's basically negligible. I mean, unless you're trading a lot, it shouldn't really matter, because if you're just doing like a few conversions every now and then, it's almost negligible. So I would definitely say, and it's a lot easier too. So for people who, so I'll list out all the things. For me, it's easier, it's more secure, it's more private, and there's no way that you're gonna like potentially lose your currency to them taking it. So a great example of this was Binance and a couple other exchanges worked with Tron, and they took everyone's Steam, all the Steam that people had, and they used it to
Yeah.
vote on the governance of the Steam blockchain, which is extremely unethical. And that could never happen if those people had Steam in their own wallet, and then they used an exchange like JellySwap to trade their Steam for something else. Then this could have never happened, and we would have avoided this issue. While I
Yeah.
still use Binance, it definitely is concerning that they would do something like this. And they said it was negligence, but either way, it's still pretty concerning to see stuff like that happen. So that kind of shows people like the reason and the value proposition of using something like atomic swap. So I
Yeah,
really
yeah, that
appreciate
was
these solutions that you guys are creating.
that was very nasty. The example that you did. I mean, it was not honest to do it. I mean, people did not agree to attack the Steam network. They were just holding their assets in the exchange, and
Yeah.
yeah, you can imagine what can happen if a lot of protocols are going to proof of stake, and yeah, people are holding their funds in these exchanges. For example, Ethereum 2.0 or Cardano. I just can't imagine if people just continue hold their funds in decentralized exchanges and they just do something like this to one of the most trusted blockchains
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we have nowadays.
exactly.
It
Yeah,
will
and
get
the way that
total
I
disaster.
explain it, yeah, and the way that I explain it to people who aren't as familiar with the problem, I would say imagine a bank somehow took your vote and then voted for you for like the president of your country or like the person running your country. It's like if you would let the bank do that for you, then you don't have any freedom. So obviously we can't let the exchanges do governance on blockchains that they're not even associated with your funds or my funds.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so for like what is the current like liquidity and the volume and like people who are actively using JellySwap right now?
Yeah, everyone can go to stats.jelly.market and there you can see some statistics, how much is the liquidity, how many liquidity providers do we have, and all that stuff. So currently it's like 15K dollars, the liquidity. We just put it, I mean, we started a month ago. We finalized some security audits and we want to check everything until we provide more liquidity to the protocol. We are starting, as I said, our incentivized liquidity provision program at the beginning of the next month. So I'm sure that we will bring much more liquidity in the next 2-3 weeks. And yeah, we're striving for 100K for the beginning. Again, it
Okay.
is tested, it is audited, but still it needs some time until we put $2 million and after 2 days we say, okay, we get hacked. I mean, that's not the right way. I mean,
Yeah.
everything just takes time. It should be tested, it should be bulletproof, and after that, we can put much more liquidity, it will be much more trades and so on.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, so where can everyone go to learn more about this?
You can open our website, which is jelly.market. There is a landing page. There is a docs section where you can read the white paper and some other docs related to JellySwap. You can also follow us on Twitter. It is our handle is Jelly Swap or something like this. I'm not pretty sure. It's pretty complicated with all that handles and different social
Fair enough.
networks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
People
you
can
write
just go to
JellySwap, you'll
jelly.
find it.
Yeah, everyone can go to jelly.market, and then if you go to the bottom, you'll be able to see all the social links and
Yeah,
everything.
all the social links. Yeah.
So awesome, awesome. All right, so perfect. That's everything from me. Is there anything else that you want to touch on or speak to before we end this off?
Yeah, I just want to ask everyone who is keen on that stuff and is interested in market making, arbitrage, and all that stuff. Just if you can go to our website and try the botware, which is the market making bot, give us your feedback, start providing some liquidity, just play around. And yeah, as more people join the liquidity provision, as more decentralized it will be, more people will participate. It will be more profit for all us to spread. And yeah, we just need the community and the network. without you and without all of us participating and playing around with DeFi applications and with cryptocurrency and all that stuff, it's at the end of the day just code written in GitHub. So the thing that
Yeah.
is giving life to it is it's us, the community, the people behind JellySwap, behind DeFi, behind Ethereum and Bitcoin. And yeah, I would say just come try it and give me your feedback. Join our Telegram and Discord channels. Ask whatever you want. We'll help you with the setup. We'll explain how it works, what is the algorithm, and all the things that you're interested in.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on. I'm sure a lot of people learned a lot about the use of, swap exchanges in general, and then specifically about JellySwap. So I really appreciate you coming on and doing this interview.
Thanks a lot, Scott. And yeah, I hope it was useful, and I would be happy to speak with you again in the near future.
Awesome. Maybe we could do a follow-up in the future. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks. Thanks, Scott.